So rather strangely, Google kind of went ahead and just announced the Pixel 7 and 7 Pro well ahead of their sometime in the fall release. And we already know quite a lot about these two devices, like really far out. Of course, we've had full-blown massive leaks. We had somebody buy one of them on Facebook Marketplace somehow and use the thing for like a month before Google remotely locked it. We had another guy trying to sell a regular Pixel 7 on eBay. It's been very, very strange. We know a lot about these devices in addition to just what Google told us themselves. We know what it's going to look like. Kind of looks like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle as far as I'm concerned. You can see their little eyes there, their little headband over there wrapped around. I don't know why that's what I see, but it is in fact what I see when I look at this device. And when we look at what we know about this device, in addition to the rumors of the specs, and we compare them to the Pixel 6 Pro, I'm kind of left with a particular question, and that is this: is Google doing enough to iterate on the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro to make the 7 worth an upgrade? Is it just a big enough jump ahead? I compiled the rumored specifications here, and let's kind of talk about them for a second. Some of this is rumored, some of this is pretty much 100% confirmed, some of it is a little bit less 100% confirmed, but still heavily rumored. So let's kind of walk through it here. The screen on the 6 Pro, 6.71-inch display at 120 hertz. On the 7 Pro, it is rumored to be the exact same panel. Not just the same specs, but actually the exact same panel, 6.71 inches, 120 hertz. Now, that's not that big of a deal, right? Because really, what would you do? You know, what are you going to do to that panel to make it better? It's pretty much as good as it's going to get. No real need to really upgrade that there, but it's worth noting that it's the same. How about the cameras? Well, if you look at the specs, remember you read ahead, the rumors are the cameras are going to be exactly the same. Now, we've seen Google do this a ton in the past, right? They use the same like 12 megapixel camera from the Pixel 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just the 6 was the one that jumped it up to the 50 megapixel. They left it the same for all those years, yet the performance continued to improve because the software continued to tune it and get better and better. Now, you would think, though, that software improvement on the 7 Pro, if it's the same sensor, would be able to fall back on the 6 and the 6 Pro. But you also have to keep in mind that the processor is going to change and the image processing pipeline, the signal processing pipeline, that stuff does change a bit. So that's kind of why that stuff does alter. So even though the camera specs are going to be identical, the 7 Pro is probably going to have better camera performance for stuff that we're going to talk about later, in addition to the software. The selfie cameras, I've also seen these are meant to be exactly the same as well. Going to keep stereo speakers. The battery, we don't know. Okay, so on the 6 Pro is a little bit over 5,000 milliamp hours, 30 watt charging, which is not super duper fast. Are we going to get a bigger battery? Probably not. Probably going to be really, really similar. Maybe they could get faster charging in here, but I kind of doubt that's going to be a big change either. Probably not going to be much of a change at all. The system on a chip. 6 has the Google Tensor. Now, this is the first gen of the Tensor chip, and it's pretty good, right? It's had its ups and downs, but overall, I think people tend to think it's pretty decent. Battery life has been really inconsistent, though. Some people have said the battery life has been really good. Some people have said it's been really bad. I can't seem to find a correlation between why one person gets good, someone else gets bad. There have been a lot of bugs with the Pixel 6, right? A lot of weird little issues like the fingerprint scanner. Some people say it's fine, some people say it's terrible. Well, the 6A is getting a new scanner. Presumably the 7 will probably get one as well, so maybe that's taken care of. Hopefully, though, with Tensor 2, which is what's going to be in the 7 Pro, a lot of this stuff gets ironed out, right? This is the second generation. A lot of the bugs, a lot of the issues, hopefully this stuff begins to improve over time. And I think that's where a lot of the big improvements are going to be on the Pixel 7 Pro, in addition to the fact that the Tensor 2 is likely to have a new image signal processing pipeline, or at least a tweaked one, so that the camera performance should be improved. RAM is rumored to be the same, 12 gigabytes across the board. So if you look at these specs, you'll see that there's not a lot of change. They're pretty much the same phone with some new materials being used, right? We've seen that the thing around the camera here is apparently supposed to be metal instead of being glass. That's a good thing, right? But other than that, we're pretty much just getting a new processor. That's really about the biggest thing that's going to be changing. And I want to know from you guys, what do you think about this? Is that enough? Is that a big enough change? I mean, if you're a 6 or 6 Pro user, you probably not making that upgrade. You're probably going to look at that and say, well, a lot of these improvements are probably going to come to me through software. I mean, Google always announces a ton of crazy things like Magic Eraser and so forth. They're like magical stuff that the software can do. A lot of that software is going to come back to the 6 and the 6 Pro. So I can't imagine going from a 6 to a 7. I mean, yeah, you're going to get like another additional year of software support, but they already get pretty long stretch of software support as it is. So, I mean, right now, the 6 is on sale for $100 off. Would you go and grab the 6 now for a discount, or are you waiting for the 7 to see what big improvements there are? I just want to know what you guys think about this, because this looks to be one of the smallest, one of the most iterative jumps I've seen in a little while from some of these phones. Now, you could say that a lot of the Samsung flagships are a similarly iterative jump, so maybe this is just the way that things are, and for whatever reason, I'm just perceiving it as being a small jump because the appearance is staying so similar. With the Samsung devices, the appearance does tend to change quite a bit. Well, the Pixel just went through a massive change. They're probably not going to do a massive change again so soon after, so the 7 does look to be just a refinement on what the 6 already did. Let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. Are you interested in the 7? Is this something that you're looking to purchase? Hopefully that these bugs get ironed out and the 7 is what the 6 maybe coulda, shoulda, woulda been had those bugs not been there. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on your way out, guys. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.